Amen. People say, well, there's bad news and good news. There's no bad news with Jesus. Absolutely none. But if you ask most Christians, they can't name the Beatitudes for you. Can't name all 8. We had a pop quiz this morning, and I asked you, name me all 8 Beatitudes in order, and what are they? People go, I don't know the order. He gave them an order. Okay? Kind of like the 10 Commandments. I always ask people, when I go out to eat, to the waitress or the waiter, I always say, okay, your tip depends on this. You got 20%. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. If you don't answer them right about Jesus, your tip goes down. Okay, 20 to 10 to 5. First question, I'm going to ask you the same thing. You answer it for me. How many 10 Commandments are there? Say 10. How many 8 Beatitudes? 8. Okay, so you got the 10 Commandments and the 8 Beatitudes. But most people can't name them for you. They can't name you the 10 Commandments and they can't name you the 8 Beatitudes. The 10 Commandments are good news, and so are the 8 Beatitudes. Say the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments. Use your hands. Say one God. One God. Holy name. Holy name. Holy day. Holy day. Mom and dad, dad and mom. Mom and dad, dad and mom. Don't kill. Don't kill. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't covet neighbor's wife. Don't covet neighbor's wife. Don't covet neighbor's goods. Don't covet neighbor's goods. Those are the 10. One God, holy name, holy day, mom and dad, dad and mom. Don't kill, don't cheat, don't steal, don't lie, don't covet neighbor's wife, don't covet neighbor's goods. There's all 10. Say one God. One God. With your hand. Say one God. One God. No one knows the 10 Commandments either, and he gave them on a mountain too. Okay? Say one God. One God. Holy name. Holy name. Holy day. Holy day. Mom and dad, dad and mom. Don't kill. Don't kill. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't covet neighbor's wife. Don't covet neighbor's wife. Don't covet neighbor's goods. Don't covet neighbor's goods. Then you go doing a country song. One God, holy name, holy day, mom and dad, dad and mom. Don't kill, don't cheat, don't steal, don't lie, don't covet neighbor's wife, don't covet neighbor's goods. Because most people, when you teach kids and you want them to remember and you want people to be joyful about the gospel, because we got to be joyful about the gospel. If we don't have joy on our heart and joy on our face, even when we have to suffer, even when we have difficulty, even when we have challenge, those are the people that have accepted Jesus in their heart. You know, when you go to a nursing home, I get to go every Friday and I meet Ruth, and Ruth is sad at times, but she always has joy in her heart. Always has joy in her heart, because when I walk in, she doesn't smile because she sees me. She smiles because I have a little pyx, and I have Jesus in that little pyx, and she wants to receive Jesus. And today, the Lord's going to anoint you today. He's going to touch your heart today so that you don't forget these 8 Beatitudes, okay? So on this mountain, can you imagine? Look out in the sea. Look at this mountain. Look where we are. Look where we are, friends. Disciples of the Lord, look where we are. Don't forget this. Don't ever forget where we are right now. Okay? So, he says they're only found in one spot. So you know where the Beatitudes are found. Say Matthew. Matthew 5. 3 to 12. 3 to 12. Say Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Matthew 5, 3 to 12. So if you come to my parish, every kid in my catechism knows the 10 Commandments and the 8 Beatitudes. And my servers, every Mass, I ask them before the Mass, name the 10 Commandments. Name the 8 Beatitudes. So they don't, when they go to college and someone says, did you learn the faith? They can say, yep, I know the 10 Commandments and the 8 Beatitudes. And they can name them like that. One God, holy name, holy day, mom and dad, dad and mom, don't kill, don't cheat, don't steal, don't lie, don't covet neighbor's wife, don't covet neighbor's goods. Okay? And when people are falling away from the church, when people are falling away, we got to go out to where they are. Amen? Some people are never going to come to church. But when we're in line with Walmart or somewhere, and we're grouchy because people are taking time, and we're like, talk to the person behind that counter and ask them and talk to them about Jesus and tell them about the 8 Beatitudes. And when someone says, how's your day? Well, let me tell you where I was last week. I was in the Holy Land. Let me tell you where I was at the Mount of the Beatitudes. Do that at the person at Walmart. Do that everywhere we go. Amen? Amen. So first we got to know the 8 Beatitudes and where they're found. Okay? So say Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Matthew 5, 3 to 12. When you do it with some voice or some inflection or some little twang, you'll remember it. Say Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
I was at a Husker game, 90,000 people. I walked by and this guy goes, Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Because I gave a talk and he remembered I was walking. I had my Husker stuff on. He's like, Matthew 5, 3 to 12. And I went, Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Because I learned from Steve Ray, when you want to evangelize, you got to evangelize loud. Right? You loud. Okay? So, say Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
So we're going to be a little uncomfortable right now because some of you maybe won't want to do this, but we're going to do something with our hands. Go like this, and go like this. Then say Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
I have 112 boys in the summer that come. Quinn's going to come in a couple of years. His brother Brady comes from New Hampshire to Nebraska, and we have a camp. 56 boys one week, 56 boys another week. It sells out in a day and a half. It's intense. And these boys, this is how they do it. You should see them. They're playing sports, and then I'll stop and I'll go, Beatitudes. And in the field, when we're playing dodgeball, they'll go, Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Say Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Say John 15, 11.
John 15, 11.
Say, I have told you this.
I have told you this.
So that my joy, might be in you. And your joy might be complete. Mother Teresa says the way they know we are Christians is by joy and love. By joy and love. You don't even have to talk about Jesus. They could see it in what? In our eyes and in our face. Amen? I grew up with two people, my mom and dad. Day in, day out, had that. Day in and day out. That's why I go home on my day off and spend it with my mother. Because she uplifts me. Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Say it.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Say, blessed are the poor in spirit.
Blessed are the poor in spirit.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So it's a Wednesday afternoon. We're frustrated. Someone was rude to us. Some problem, some difficulty. Oh, that's right. I'm going to go to heaven someday. Blessed are the poor in spirit. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Say, blessed are those who mourn.
Blessed are those who mourn.
For they shall be comforted.
For they shall be comforted.
I had a lady who had a stillborn baby. 3 days before she was supposed to deliver the baby, they had the baby died in the womb. I used the second beatitude. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. I said, Jesus is closest to you now than he ever has. Ever. So when we struggle and we have difficulty and pain and suffering, he's right there, according to him. On this mountain. Say, on this mountain.
On this mountain.
Say, I'm on this mountain.
I'm on this mountain.
Where he said, the 8 Beatitudes.
The 8 Beatitudes.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
Matthew 5, 3 to 12.
You'll have that in your this evening. You'll be like, can't sleep in the night. You're like, and your husband will be like, Matthew 5, 3 to 12. Right? And so say, blessed are the meek.
Blessed are the meek.
For they shall inherit the land.
For they shall inherit the land.
Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness.
Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness.
For they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful.
Blessed are the merciful.
For they shall obtain mercy.
For they shall obtain mercy.
We have to forgive everyone who's ever hurt us. Everyone who's ever hurt us. Mother Teresa one time asked to go into this communist country, and this communist dictator spit at her face. And she said, thank you. That was for me. Now may I have something for the poor. That's the 5th Beatitude. The 6th Beatitude, say, blessed are the pure of heart.
Blessed are the pure of heart.
For they shall see God.
For they shall see God.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
For they are children of God.
For they are children of God.
Do we want to be children of God?
Yes.
We got to be a peacemaker. We have to be a peacemaker. If we're supposed to be right or being kind, always pick kindness. That's a peacemaker. Always, always. Someone's got to see Jesus. And this is hard, amen? Amen? That's why we have Jesus. That's why he became flesh. John 1:14. And we saw his glory and the glory of the Father's only Son. Okay? Then the 7th one is peacemaker. 8th one is, blessed are they when they insult you and persecute you and utter every evil against you falsely. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great. We get a reward. Can you imagine when we get that reward? Can you imagine when Mother Teresa died, when she got the reward? When my dad died on April 11, 2010, I think he got that reward. I think he went to purgatory for a little bit. But he had 56 priests who offered Mass for him on his funeral day. He had 56 priests at his funeral. And Cardinal Lorenze, when I sat next to him, I asked him to offer Mass for my dad. And so the power of heaven. Are you excited about heaven?
Yes.
How often should we be excited about heaven? Say every day, every day, every day. Say every day, every day, every day.
Every day, every day, every day.
So when we're grouchy and we're like, when someone says, how are you today? I'm great. I'm going to, hopefully because I love Jesus, I'm going to go to heaven. Wait till you see the response. Wait till you see the response when you talk about Jesus, when you go out to eat. So to remember all the 8 Beatitudes in one words, I was walking to go teach 3rd graders catechism. Like, I'm going to teach the Beatitudes. How am I going to do this? I'm walking there, and all of a sudden, boop, he popped him right in my head. So I'm going to give it to you in one word with actions. Say humility.
Humility.
That's blessed are the poor in spirit. So that's number 1. Say humility.
Humility.
And then go like this. Go humility.
Humility.
Say mourn for sins.
Mourn for sins.
Say third one.
Third one
is meek.
meek.
That's the M. See the M? Little kids love this. They're like, third one is meek. Say fourth one is holiness.
Holiness.
Say, and just repeat everything I say. Say fifth one is mercy.
Fifth one is
You
mercy.
see boys doing that. They're like, fifth one's mercy. BAM! And they're like, he hit me. I should forgive him right there. Mercy. Say sixth one's purity.
Sixth one's purity.
Say seventh one's peace. Make a peace. Make a peace. Make a. Seventh one's peace. Make a peace. Make a peace. Make a. We were out to eat one time with 2 priests. We did those in the restaurant. And we were talking loud. And you should see people stare. They're like, and this lady who was sitting at the next table was a fallen away Catholic. And she came and said, you know what, maybe I should think about the Catholic Church a little bit more. Because you two have joy. You have the power when you go home. You now have been to the Holy Land. You got to go home and say, let me tell you what happened to me. And I hope you get anointed today. I hope your heart gets hit today by him, where he walked here. Say humility. Humility. Thank you so much for doing it. This is kind of fun, isn't it? Say mourn for sins.
Mourn for sins.
Say third one is meek.
Third one is meek.
Now don't do it too fast because this happens. Say third one is meek.
Third one is
Say
meek.
fourth one is holiness.
Fourth one is holiness.
Say fifth one is mercy.
Fifth one is mercy.
Say sixth one's purity.
Sixth one's purity.
Say seventh one's peace. Make a 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 peace. Make a. Say eighth one's courage.
Eighth one's courage.
So we need courage. We need courage. You know who has humility and courage? You know what his name was? His name was Pope John Paul II.
Amen.
You know who had humility and all those things? Mother Teresa. You know who has those who I see every Tuesday? My mom lives the Beatitudes. Think about the people you have in your life who live the Beatitudes. So now you know them. Now you got them in your head. We'll do it a couple times before the end of the trip. So you get them. So you know the 10 Commandments. One God, one name, one day, mom, dad, and mom, don't kill, don't cheat, don't steal, don't lie, don't come, don't There's the 10. And then the 8 Beatitudes. Humility, mourn for sins. Third one's meek. Fourth one's holiness. Fifth one's mercy. Sixth one's purity. Seventh one's peace. Make a peace. Make a peace. Make a. Eighth one's courage. There's all 8. And you know what? Kids remember them. And then guess what? Then they go out and guess what they talk about? In my little parish, we've had 90 families. We have had 30 plus people join the Catholic Church in 6 years. And you know who that is? One time I asked this lady, why don't you come to our parish? Why don't you come to our parish? She goes, you're the 4th person to ask me this week. You know who the other 3 were? Her students in her public school classroom who wear little crucifixes. If we have this message, why are we so shy about him? Why are we so shy about him? And we have to, more of the time, not even say his name. By our actions. They will know we are Christians by our love. Amen?
Amen.
Jesus says that in John 13. Love one another as I have loved you.